Begin. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. The end is never the end. I see what they did there.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
I'm feeling a little
What
attacked.
buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been
That's
made
not true.
exactly for this job. And
Nobody
Stanley
relishes working in an
was
office.
happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
Oh,
No
no.
one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Oh. So the narrative style reminds you of Little Misfortune. I can see that. It's because of the guy's voice. Sit down. Hi! Okay. So I was reading that there's a ultra deluxe version of this coming out this year where it's like completely HD'd and there's new stuff. So I could always stream that as well, but I figured it would probably be good to do the original one first. So sit down, you said? How do I do that? Can I interact? Hello? Hello? There's no button prompt. It won't let me do anything. I guess I have to leave? Can't do anything there. What if you interact with the computer? Well, I tried that. Unless I'm hitting the wrong button. Let's see. Nope. Well, that lets me crouch. Can I get under my desk? No. Yeah, none of the buttons are doing anything. 428? No?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is that what I'm gonna do? I have to do everything he
No
says?
matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
There's a mug that says who farted. Where the hell's the meeting room? This reminds me of Bo Burnham's streamer skit in Inside. I have not watched the Bo Burnham special. So I don't have context, I'm sorry.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh. I don't think I did. I think I went to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
No, I don't.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, I deliberately went that way.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Immaculate.
Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Damn right I did. Break room's the best place at work.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, I didn't. I went this way.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I like the sass that you get from the narrator if you don't do what he says. Oh. I don't know what any of this means. Warning, do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've got
What happens if I do
the
that?
wrong foot. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Well, I guess that's one ending technically, right? Hi, Miki. How's it going?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, we're saying that again?
When Stanley came to a set
We're
of
going
two
back through the
open
red.
doors, he entered This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
We're disobeying the narrator, is what we're doing.
Wow. Yes.
It's
This
immaculate.
room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous... But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope. This time we're gonna not jump off and
Stanley
die.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yeah. Alright, let's ride this thing safely this time.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Me?
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Who? Oh, that's ominous. Hello? Whoa.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What? Okay. How do I do that? What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right.
Whomst?
Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about...
You're doing.
Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Whoa!
Oh.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you?
Damn.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
You don't remember this part? Well, I deviated from the path. I remember when I played it before, I did everything he said. I went every direction that he said. So this time I was like, well, we're going to do that. But at first, let me see what happens if I don't.
This
And
is a very sad story about
apparently
the
it's
death
this.
of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427. Press RB on your gamepad.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he
Yeah.
pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
I mean, we've already gotten one ending because I jumped to my death. So, I mean, technically.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Why is this guy such an asshole?
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Press LB to watch TV.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Spend some time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through
Oh
this
my.
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. and down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Uh-huh. Hang on. Can I turn on closed captioning? There we go. Have some subtitles. Tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Tell your wife you love her.
But there is no
Whoa.
answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Oh. Go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Should I push the button? Let's disobey.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
What?
And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
What just happened? It just reset. Wow. So there, we got another ending. Isn't that technically? What the hell? Yeah, it's a fever
Stanley
dream.
came to a set of 2 open doors. He
All right.
entered the door on his left.
Let's disobey again, and this time we'll take the left he tells
This
us to.
was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
We're just gonna breeze right through the immaculate
lounge was
room.
sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
All right, what do we got?
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
But there's a red shiny button I could push. Do I push the red shiny button? I kind of want to. Doing the opposite of everything he says leads to your favorite ending. That's how I started out. It's just doing the
Stanley
opposite.
didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
I can't go somewhere else? Can I open this door? And this game is a bit of a fever dream.
Oh, no. No,
What?
it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear. Would you hold on for a minute, please?
The narrator doesn't even know what's going on.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep. Okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, what the hell?
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
This is all a
We
spoiler.
just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, hmm? Okay, from the top.
It's completely resets. I think there's like 19 different endings. All right, we'll do what he says this time. Wait, yeah, we'll
All
go
of
to
his
the
co-workers
the
were
right,
gone.
and then we
What could
won't
it
push the
mean?
shiny button.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I just love how he just sasses you and gets really frustrated when you don't do what he says.
When Stanley... Wait.
What?
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
What?
Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or...
Don't blame me.
Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure.
Whoa.
Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
I don't know what door to take. Let's take this one. Which they're both to the same hallway. Oh, what's back here? It's way too quiet. What the fuck?
I'll say it.
What?
This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh my god.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's like this guy wrote a story, and the character in the story is us, and we're just not doing what he wrote. I love it. No, there's no doors!
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Your writing sucks, dude. There's nothing to miss here.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
The only thing to follow right now, Theo, is that he's narrating a story, and the story's about us. And so far, I've just been completely ignoring everything he wrote. Like, he's like, Stanley went this way, and I'm like, nope, and I went the other way. So it's like completely fucking up
No,
his story.
wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
This is so chaotic. If I had just done what he said, it would just tell a story, and I'm just like, nah. Okay, this isn't right. Stop doing that, Lethal. No, I don't want to do what he tells me to do.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Yeah,
Do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Yeah! All right.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
We beat the game, you guys.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Hey, I was fair and square.
I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
We beat the game. What was that, record time? Not even half an hour? All right. Oh.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
He's literally put a line on the floor like, hey, dumbass, go this way. I don't want to go that way. We're going this way. I refuse. Aw.
No, I'm down. We're living it up to the line from now on.
Okay. He's not even narrating anymore. Fine. Follow your stupid line.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
But
here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way,
go this way?
is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Wait.
Now,
Damn
we
it.
can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay.
What is he talking
now,
about?
if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct?
What the hell is this?
That got a bit weird back there.
Yeah, what is
Well,
he
I'd
talking
like to
about?
apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
What's with the line?
You
It's
know
just
what?
all over the
I
place.
think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Yes, please. Oh my. What the? What's this way? Nothing. It does. It sounds like an old like N64 game. Yeah. What?
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
What fern? This one?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
It's a fern. What's there to remember? Okay. That's a nice fern, yeah. Like, what the... What?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
That doesn't
no,
seem make...
No.
Why
Line,
is it...
You do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Oh, hey, look at that.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
This guy's getting so pissed at us. The line TM, yeah, it's trademarked. It's a very unique line.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. Why not?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
Just going in
Whatever it
circles.
might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
All my homies hate the line TM.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
It's kind of hard not to acknowledge it. It's all over the place. Oh, well, there it goes.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, you're not even gonna let me choose? You're just gonna tell me I have to go through that one? The confusion ending?
Oh, hold up, what's this?
Deviate from the maintenance room, end up in monitor room
Confusion
narrating.
ending. You're
You've been playing the
telling me
confusion ending
that's
for
what this is?
16 minutes.
It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes?
This is amazing.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing.
This is amazing.
Wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So,
Probably not.
okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination.
Nonsense
So I hope
philosophy
that's
and
where
music.
we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime,
Whoa! What the that scared me. Alright. Is this a fresh start?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I love that
Stanley decided to go to
we
the meeting
broke
room.
the game.
Perhaps he had simply
Like, we
missed a memo.
completely broke his story and found the confusion ending. That is really funny. The part about nonsense philosophy really got
When
me.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. We'll play along this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Wait, what? Everyone is unique, you most of all. Next slide, please. Number of slides on this slide, slides, charts, charts, and slides. What? This is like me trying to do a school project. Or maybe you're still in it, maybe. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. I don't see how that's at all helpful. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please, no more charts, please, I'm begging. Stop, stop, stop. The Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Oh my god. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined toward conflict, unless you're the kind of person who initiates conflict, why did we hire you? Oh my god. Spring break is a dream for the future. Hope, pollution, mitosis.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all.
Tips for not
He
getting
seems
fired.
to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This
Tips
is
for not
why
getting
Stanley
fired was
and
don't
I
get
are on
fired.
such good terms.
Wait, there's the broom closet. Isn't that guy stuck in there?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nah. What happens if we go downstairs? Well, there's a car.
Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
What?
For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He
Same thing over and over.
His job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
How long do I have to keep walking?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that?
Yeah.
This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
But we're still here. This is literally so weird. That's the point.
Stanley
That's
began
the point.
screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be.
It's like we're having a nightmare.
My voice. Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Restart? No?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed,
What happened to
gathered her
Stanley?
belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like.
No, they
And
don't.
In that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Sorry to this man.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
He needs some milk.
She had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there,
Shout out to his
staring
family.
down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
I'm sorry, if I saw a man screaming and then collapsing dead on the sidewalk, I wouldn't just be like, oh, I'm glad I'm normal, and then go to work. Yeah. Alright. Back in the loop.
Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. No, the orders were still missing. For now.
When he tells you to go left, go right. I've already done that. We've already done that several times. What are you talking about? That's how we started, and we got the confusion ending. Lethal? What? What did I do? Here we go. I've watched you play a lot of games. Okay. Humming Sword, we already did that. We went to the right, and then we didn't jump off of the lift. And we ended up in the room with the mannequin.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Trust you? Alright. Alright, Humming Sword, I'm gonna trust you, and we're gonna go to the right, and we're gonna get on the lift, and if you're just getting me stuck in the same shit we've already done, never again.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again. Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle.
Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope, we're getting on the lift. That's what Humming Sword wants.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Yes, we get on this. Do not jump off.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps
Well, you
we've
want me to go
gotten
that way?
off on the wrong foot here. I'm
'Cause I
not
went
your
that way
enemy,
before?
Really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the
How do I
story has
jump?
been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Okay.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it.
Danger.
Let me
Danger
prove
everywhere.
that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
The more that I get into this, the more I do see the parallel to the voice in Little Misfortune. Like, oh
Now
no.
listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Yeah, I don't think I did. Blue's my favorite color.
Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, I didn't misunderstand.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
Where's the blue door?
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Oh no.
There we go.
Oh no.
Option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Okay. I'm down with this.
Okay, I'm going to stop
Please
you
rate your
there.
experience.
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I give it a 5 out of 5.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul.
Perfect 5 out of 7.
You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh. What? The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard? Good old Neil is offline. Oh, that's dude from Soul Calibur on there. What? Oh, okay. 21.3% of players skipped the intro sequence. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? What? This is you. 9,328 out of 9,328. Friends list is empty. What the fuck? 98.9% of players are more attractive than Stanley. Wow, that's just rude. Should I go through this door again? Orange door?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Terrific 5.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh no.
In this
What the hell?
baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
What the
But
fuck
of course,
is this?
the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
What the hell? This is horrible.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here?
There's an ending if you do that for 4 hours. I have to look that up on YouTube.
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
How's it going, James? Literally 4 hours of doing. Oh my god, really?
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired.
Hold on, I gotta
A
change my
game
stream
I had
category.
absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
What?
This will go here. No, here. And then...
This is amazing.
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes.
That's a beautiful house.
Complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. Ah, but you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
But I can't jump, so like, why can't I go somewhere else? You know, I've actually thought about streaming Minecraft before, but I guess technically now I have.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything.
Oh my
yes,
God.
Yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay, let's go mining. Let's get some diamonds. Wait. Is that actual Minecraft music? This is wonderful. This is like the coolest Easter egg in any game. I need some torches.
My, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Hello? No, I haven't.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Oh, what? No, I was playing Minecraft.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box.
Darn!
No way out. Listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Is this supposed to be Portal? I've never actually played Portal.
Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You
What?
can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about...
What? I didn't even do that on purpose. Work in progress. It's like the game's still being built. Beta. Well, now what? I fell again. This is a little creepy. I can barely see. Oh. That looks... Oh. What? What? I don't get it. Nothing. I'm pushing buttons. Nothing happens. Hello?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
What the fuck? Oh, we're back at the beginning. You think Phoebe needs to open her mind?
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself. That's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
I played this game years ago, and I only did like one ending. And Zombie had mentioned it in my stream the other day, and I was like, it's funny you say that, because I was actually thinking about streaming it since there's a new version coming out. So it was just like, you know what? I was thinking about streaming it. Zombie mentioned it. I haven't played it in years.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Yeah, it's old. It's old. And wasn't it originally a mod for, like... It was originally a mod on, like, Half-Life or something, wasn't it? And then they made it a real game.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
So this time we'll go up the stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, fancy. Wait, what's this door over here say? Executive bathroom? Where the boss at?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yeah, it was originally like a fan-made mod, and then whatever, I don't, whoever made it like made it a real game after that. That's all I remember reading. I think the original version came out like 10 years ago or something. I could be completely wrong. Another shiny red button. I mean, I'm definitely going to be streaming this again at some point just because of the Ultra Deluxe version coming out.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him?
Sorry,
This
Hummingbird.
question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the
What?
large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, wait. He wants us to go to mind control facility, but there's a thing that says escape. What do we do? I'll let y'all. What do we do? Should we escape or do we go to the mind control facility? I'm torn. They both sound interesting. I mean, as chaotic as this game is. Escape, duh, mind control. See, that's you say duh, but like other people want to go to the mind control room. Pissing off the narrator is always fun. Escape. I mean, we can do both. We can come back, so let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
I don't believe you. You're trying to deter me.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope. We're committing to
At
this.
this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
I don't believe you. It's down there. What? Seems like we're okay to me.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, it reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped
There's a catwalk.
forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
She saved us, whoever she is.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Well, this is pretty.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The pacing of this open corridor section, or this open section, was important to get right. What? What? Button sounds? Interesting. Stanley Parable credits. Oh, here's the people that made this. The impeccable Kevin Brighting is the narrator. So what, did we technically just beat the game? Made using Source by Valve. Yeah, that guy had said the fern would be important. I haven't seen it come back yet. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to lose. The point of the Stanley Parable HD remix is to win. These are screenshots of the Stanley Parable HD remix. More endings, more narrators, fewer narrators. Am I going crazy? Maybe it isn't the same image. Was that clock there before? I don't remember. How do I go back? Can you check for me? In September 2012, we submitted the Stanley Parable to Greenlight, Valve's process of approving games for Steam. The Greenlight page had only a series of cryptic photos, which were still enough to win the community's approval. So they put these pictures up, and that's how it got approved to be on Steam? Is that what that means? Did you beat the game already? I don't know. I think. I mean, we found the actual credits. And now it's like we're in a museum of everything that's in the game. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. So Steam used to have something where you had to vote. Is that what you're saying? You had to vote if you wanted that to be a game on there or not? I feel like this section is just like, hey, check out all the stuff that we put in the game, just because. And there's the exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Should I do it?
As you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time
I didn't do it. Hello? This is awkward and uncomfortable. We're just sitting here. What? Do I have to, like, go back to the menu from here? Well, begin the game again. This time we'll go to the mind control room.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Go through the conference room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office,
2845.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he real sassy. He doesn't like when you don't do what he says.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
That was funny. Alright, let's see what this mind control room has waiting for us.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life.
The
Their
spoiler.
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really
someone
been
was
under
fired.
someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Got a flair for the
Here was
dramatic.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
What
For
does it do?
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, is that what we're doing? Mind controls idle, awaiting input. What?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Maybe?
Yes.
Oh.
He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Well, I would say that's a good ending. That wasn't any part. All right. Are there... I don't know if there's other endings that are... You're so confused. Disappointed.
Disappointment is immeasurable. And my day is ruined.
What are you disappointed about? I'm so confused. Approach the chair at employee 434's desk. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it be?
What the hell's going on?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So it looks like the ending,
No
as the
matter how
narrator
hard
wrote it, was that
looked,
Stanley just
he
gets
couldn't
out.
find a trace of his co-workers.
Crouch on top of the desk and walk through the window? Wait, what? Walk up to it. Oh, okay. Wait, what?
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Are you sick of this gag? No.
Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not.
He's just rambling.
In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky.
I'd agree.
Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Can't hit yes? What? What, so I have to restart? Begin the game again. That was wild. Alright. Is there any other things like that, zombie, that I should look at before switching games?
The meeting room, yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
That narration sounds different.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Remember... No, if I go through there, I get stuck in that loop again. I don't want to do that. It didn't look like there was an alternate path.
Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad, Stanley
Oh.
pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Okay. That was funny. Yeah, we know what to do.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So I wonder what happens if we go through the escape route, and when What's-Her-Face tells us, hey, pause the game.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and
Close the door without
willingly
leaving.
confront his death. As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
She gonna save us again? Yeah.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet
Right, let's
it would
hurry
be
through the
just a few
museum.
minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Warzone. Early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Oh. Where's the exit?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
Okay. Quit. Does that do anything? Begin the game.
This
Click to skip. So close the door? Can I do that? There we go. Okay. Have a good rest of stream. Thank you, Fio. Enjoy the rest of your night. Well, Zombie, you told me to close the door. Now what? It doesn't do anything. We're we're just in here. We're just stuck. Begin again. Is he mad that I skipped the intro?
But Stanley
There it is.
simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Let me guess, it just restarts. Yep.